is speaking right now loudly and clearly. They want gun sense legislation in Tennessee.
Gun control! When do we want it? Now! Now! What do we want? Gun control! When do we want it? Now!
That footage comes to us from the Tennessee state capitol, where hundreds of parents and children filled the halls to call for real gun safety reform. And unlike on January 6th, these protesters didn't ransack the building and try to kill a bunch of police. America's latest mass shooting, this one at a school in Nashville, has generated the biggest sustained protests since the Parkland school shooting in 2018. The march on the Tennessee state capitol is just the latest call for action nationwide. And Republicans want you to know they aren't just sitting around. They're also praying. And as Ted Cruz made clear in a weird Senate speech this week, praying really hard is basically the same as writing good gun laws. Watch this.
Where they scream in unison, thoughts and prayers aren't enough. I'll tell you, Mr. President, I believe in the power of prayer. And I will continue praying for communities that are hurting, whether from a natural disaster or a horrific crime or anything else.
And if you're not buying any of that nonsense, well, Ted has another line he'd like to try and sell you. Would you believe it's actually Democrats who don't want to get tough on gun crime?
We need action. And what is so infuriating is every time there's a mass shooting, Democrats in this chamber stand up and they don't actually want to do something to stop the murderers. Instead, they want another gun control bill to disarm law-abiding citizens that won't actually stop the murders, that won't actually protect our kids.
Now, if it feels like you've heard that line before, it's because this isn't the first time Ted has said it after a mass shooting. He used the same argument after the shooting in Uvalde, Texas, and after the shooting in Parkland. Ted has his story, and he's sticking to it, no matter how many kids die along the way. Once again, a community has been torn apart by gun violence, and once again, there is no expectation that anything will change. Take this Nashville teen, who expresses the resignation and frustration of millions of Americans across the country.
It kind of hurts to me, because, we're doing all this fighting, and you guys are just blocking us out and ignoring us and not fighting for change. You're not helping us change anything. Instead, you're making it even worse, and I don't really respect that at all.
What are the conversations in your classroom among your teachers and your classmates?
We're scared. We're scared for our lives every single day. Every day. We're scared an active shooter's going to come in our school, stuff like that. We're scared anywhere we go in America, anywhere we go around, anywhere.
That, friends, is the exhaustion that comes with knowing your government doesn't care enough about your life to pass gun laws that actually protect it, even if a supermajority of Americans support those laws. And really, we're just talking common sense. Regularly scheduled slaughter in our schools isn't some new normal that we should be adjusting to, as Republicans want you to believe. This only happens here. The reality is the gun lobby's deep pockets distort what is actually a really bipartisan issue. According to a recent Associated Press poll, 71% of Americans say gun laws should be stricter. That includes fully half of self-identified Republicans. And that's even true in red states, which, remember, are actually the states with the highest levels of gun death. So it shouldn't surprise you that a decent number of otherwise conservative people would prefer not to be gunned down while they're shopping. And almost 6 in 10 independent voters support strengthening our country's gun laws. If Congress actually elected a number that reflected that, gun reformers would have a filibuster-proof majority. Instead, Congress is still stuck in neutral, and children are still dying. For now, there's no sign these protests are letting up. With members of Congress now on a 2-week vacation, they'll be returning home to a wave of voter fury. And Democrats can only hope that outrage will finally move the needle on gun reform. For more on how the GOP is screwing up everything, check out this video about what happens when a Fox News anchor actually tells the truth. And as always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below to let me know what I should cover next.